Hey.
Woo.
Woo. Spooky ooky.
Ooh, are we during the Halloween mode?
Iggy.
Yeah. So
Boo.
this is us today, kids. This is 3 of us. It's a bit cute.
I keep hearing that show is great. I haven't watched it yet, though.
The 3 of us?
Just
No,
the
this
3.
is us.
Yeah. I feel like this is a really bad. Exactly.
Who gets to be Paul Frazier or Paul? Wait, Riser. The hell's the owl?
For what show?
Remember the sitcom in the 80s, My Two Dads? It had Stacy something.
Yes.
Was that the remake of My Two?
Yes. Was it Paul Reiser though?
Yeah, it was Paul Reiser, and the other dude was a singer, and he did it. You can't count on me, no matter.
It was kind of hot. I remember.
You can't count on me, and they had that really cool apartment with it was like a truck or something that was a couch.
Yes,
Interesting.
I do remember that. It was
So,
all American.
Let's kick off with the obvious, Jeff. Let's update the world on a little bit of our. A little bit of uncensored in the news. So talk us through what's going on.
Well, it seemingly for the moment is over. A lot of bullshit.
Nice note.
I'm so annoyed with the school district and the way that they wrote the emails and handled everything. It is very sickening to me. And they just kind of focused on very trivial things, and it was very petty. Like I had to constantly fact check them. It was like, do you want me to send you my call log screenshot? I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I have receipts, bitch.
That's right, I do. And
well, even tonight after you won, there was the news story said, "How distant is too distant?"
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That chick we did.
I think Katie put it up, screenshot it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not that good. By the way, in case you can't tell, Luke's not with us at the moment, so we are flying by the skin of our asses today. So good luck. But anyway, there's a lot of ass to go around. Anyway, you were saying it's over for now.
Yeah, for now. So they're like, okay, well, because I didn't know what they were going to even try to do, because in one email, I was like, you won't answer. How long can we be gone for? What's the time limit? Right. There's no time limit per se. Okay, so what are we doing? Why are we having this conversation? Go away. Fuck off. Leave me alone. And go fix your fucking school district. The kids are dropping like flies with COVID.
Oh, nice product placement. Ice soda.
What do we got
Ice soda, come and sponsor us.
Is that your friend for Halloween?
They're going to close the schools down any minute. We've got 94 cases in the last week in this county.
Wow, it's insane.
Yes.
And you were saying the teachers are dropping like flies too.
Well, the prison in Moravia has got like 25 cases. The guards are going home, and it's all over this
Banging
county.
Their wife.
We've got more now than we had at the beginning of the pandemic.
It's crazy.
And the country's out of control. Totally.
Well, see, they've just opened up the worst state here. So Victoria had like the worst outbreak or second wave outbreak. They're opening up, and today in the news they're talking about opening up a travel bubble between Victoria and Singapore.
Singapore's a pretty fancy looking town.
I know, that's pretty. I guess
it?
they're just trying to get some tourist dollars into Australia, but I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening anytime soon. But look, there is one highlight besides Jeff's beautiful face being on like Fox News and stuff. Katie sent us this today.
Yes.
Oh, girl! Look at that.
Oh, I wasn't there.
I know, I wasn't there either.
I messaged Nicole and sent her the screenshot. I said, look, you got dragged into my shit. And it wasn't even about Scientology. How lucky are you?
Exactly, right? She's so thrilled, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
I feel like we
Right.
should have maybe had like a giant uncensored poster or something in the background for all of your promo, for all of your interviews and stuff, Jeff. You're like, yes, yes.
I know. And well, like one guy wrote on the article, he was like, "Oh, this is pretty helpful for your stand-up career and your podcast." And I was like, "Yeah, because this is exactly how I want to get attention. Them fucking with my kids. Let me sign right up for that. Fuck off,
Look.
bro." So every interview I did, I never mentioned the name. I just said that I had a podcast because it's true, and that's where I've been talking about this and talking about remote learning since the beginning. So. I mean, what I mean, this is what we do twice a week. I'm not going to talk about my life. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my life. And I'm going to talk about how that music teacher is still not my favorite person.
Oh, no. What's she done now?
No, she just breathes, really, at this point. I mean...
She's inappropriate.
I can't with these special... And then the art teacher now is doing this crazy shit, and she's like, "Well, I want you to do this thing where you write your name and then do all these patterns and then use some watercolors over the crayon." Bitch, fuck off. You know what? Here you go. Here's a picture of it. He didn't paint over it. Fuck you.
Well, look, hey, we made it to the 6-minute mark. I don't think anyone dropped any. Dropped any bombs until then.
No.
That's pretty exciting. Good stuff. Look, Luke just can't control the room, obviously.
He likes to incite me. He gets me wrapped up.
Oh, look, I would, but whatever. It's only 3 of us. We can do what we want.
Yeah.
I can't get into. I was just trying because I feel bad because I didn't share that we were live. And I know people. I know.
I did a post on there. But...
share it on my Facebook page and the laptop. I guess I've never logged in. I don't know. I won't do it.
I'm sure the 2 viewers are loving us at the moment. So
I know, right? We're so popular.
Hey, we make up for it later on. It's all good. Hey, everyone.
Just tune in later because there's going to be a sex show.
Oh yeah, Vera's gonna Vera's gonna do the dance of the 7 veils. Go.
Oh, I better get some.
Oh my God! I don't know why that reminded me. I'm so sick of Matt. Angie girl, me too, honey, me fucking too. Okay, this is why I don't fuck with them.
That's what we were just talking about, really, wasn't it?
I'm gonna become a lesbian. So, Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker are.
You are reading my mind, girl. Look at
this. They're doing the live event tomorrow night at 8:00 Eastern, and the boys
to raise money for Restoration New York.
Yeah,
it's her annual fundraiser she does called Halloween, but it's all about the Sanderson sisters this year because it's pretty much confirmed that they are back in the saddle for Hocus Pocus.
I spent the $10 and bought a ticket because the boys love it. So I was like, well, what? What else can we do? I'm like, it's Friday. Like, we'll watch, Bette Midler on stage with the girls. Like, see what goes on.
What's going on with the boys for Halloween? Trick or treating?
No, like we have the small area here. We're gonna. My aunt and a couple of the neighbors that don't leave the house. We're all going to hang out and do a Halloween party, and then we're going to go on the golf cart and pick some stuff up out of other people's yards.
Oh, are they doing the thing with the fork in the front yards?
My aunt really hasn't explained it to me. I don't care. I just know I'll be on a golf cart and I don't have to walk.
Being a woman of a certain age, I spent some time on Pinterest.
Yeah. Oh, no, there was some lady. We shared it on the show page that she.
So sometimes.
Oh, that lady with the shoe?
They take plastic forks, and they stick them into the candy, and then they bury it in the
yard.
Get them up in the front yard, so that the kids can come get them without having to. That nobody wants to touch the children or have.
There's a lady on the news today here that in America, obviously, she's designed a candy chute.
Yeah, I've seen the candy shoots. I tried to talk my niece into making me one.
I'm not fucking with that because people are still touching it. They're still like breathing near it. No.
It's like you're not getting near it. The kids are probably breathing on it, but it's supposed to go straight into their bag.
Why not just take him to McDonald's and play in the playground in that thing? Let's get in the ball pit. No.
It was a
ball
big
pits around.
COVID.
I thought before COVID, it was just like, we don't like pee anymore, so we're not doing the ball pit thing. But whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Each their own. But yeah, Halloween. So in case you can't tell, I'm a little bit excited.
You see, I don't care. I haven't dressed up in years.
It's a brand new Michael Myers shirt because no one else. Look, none of my gangs here. None of my gang is here. They're not even like here to support me. But this has just dropped recently. Let's have a little bit of a look at it if I can make this happen.
Oh, is it a new trailer?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I don't hear it though.
It's working for me.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Well, you can have.
Oh.
Oh God! Everybody's swinging something.
Well, yeah, it's a horror movie, girl. They're finally catching up.
All right. I don't know why the sound didn't work, but Merry Christmas to me. At least I tried. But no. So we were supposed to have seen that by now. It was due for release last week.
Oh, I was so mad. Like, I was like, I don't care. I'll rent out a whole theater. I'm gonna go see it because it's my shit. I do love Halloween, the Michael Myers.
But this is the big one because they're getting original cast from the first movie back. Kyle Richards is back from Halloween. Kyle's becoming an actress again.
It's like I don't know. Taking a break from her busy Real Housewives schedule.
Oh no, you never know. But apparently, she had an accident on set.
And the Halloween set?
Yeah, on the Halloween kill set. Apparently, she was in a very what did she say? Distressing scene. So obviously, Kyle's going to bite it, and fractured her nose. Maybe that's just an excuse for a new nose job, but
I was just going to say, the bitch is just trying to get free face, new
just excuses,
face.
Really. Just excuses. But no, I'm super excited. The original nurse that was in H2O is back as well. So the nurse from the original movie, and Sheriff Brackett is back as well. And there's a new guy playing Tommy Doyle. So it's all everyone from the original movie.
It's Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. Thank you, Anthony Michael Hall.
Weird science.
Look, we love it.
You think he's okay topping off in the bathroom? Mother Gary, you told me you would comb me your hair. I love that movie.
We couldn't tell.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of excitement.
Dumping the thing. I'm like, I just lick him. Robert, call me.
Come on the show. We love guests.
Yes.
Talk about guests. Have you two heard about the Kirstie Alley podcast?
Yes, I saw it today.
Because
I can't get out of UCR on YouTube.
I love it.
So I listened to the last 2 episodes.
It's me.
Hey.
Hey, girl. I'm just playing with buttons. Right.
Honey, that's how you figure it out. Either that or we're going to end the show real early because it's the end show.
Oh, there we go. I like that one.
It was interesting. Like, she's for Trump. She's not a Biden fan. And she talks about how she's always been a Democrat and how all of her friends have abandoned her with the one tweet. That's exactly what she said.
Did you see Bianca Del Rio's Twitter beef with Kirstie Alley?
I said, there's so many people that have got blocked by her. I can't keep up.
Yeah, so Bianca said something about her weight, about being as skinny as the as her profile picture, and If Bianca don't play, like I would not mess with Bianca Del Rio, but she got blocked pretty soon. But I think Kirsty's just on a rampage.
She's on a block. Well, she talked about that in the second episode and what's funny is she's like telling the people's names, she's reading the tweets and talking about how she's blocking them and why. And it's actually rather interesting. I think she heavy breathes a lot during it. I don't know what mic they're using. But I always loved her as a kid. Like she was one of my favorites. Like,
oh my god, Fat Actress was the funniest show.
I own it. I never watched the whole thing, but I loved like Madhouse.
Fat Actress was great.
Oh, she was in such great
movies. I love the fact that she went on Jenny Craig, took their money, got skinny, got fat again, and then took Jenny Craig's money again.
Did she do it 3 times? She took their money, and it was like $7 million.
That is how you do
allegedly.
it.
I'm like,
oh wait, I can do that.
Hey,
yeah, me too.
Give me $1,000.
I might be able to drop a few lbs.
Watch how fast I get skinny for $1,000, bitches. Like I'm so good. $1,000?
Just 1,000?
I would need a few more dollars.
I'd like a few more, but I don't think Jenny Craig is real interested in me. But I'm curious to see what the next company is if she does it again.
Ice soda.
Ice soda. Well, look, Jeff, if you keep your money in the media, you never know who's gonna,
Craig. $5,000 each. We'd take it.
We'll take anyone. But we should have asked Nicole about her opinion on Kirstie Alley.
I brought her name up a few times.
In the church, right? She's still whatever the fuck they are. I can't think of the name.
Scientologist.
She big into it.
Well, you know what my opinion my opinion on Kirstie Alley is that she's so deeply into that church that she is off her meds and girlfriend needs her meds.
Well, listen. So I was like looking up old interviews with her, and there's one from '92 with Barbara Walters. Mm-hmm. She was married to Parker Stevenson or whatever.
Yeah, he was cute.
And she talks about how he was Episcopalian. He was not in the church. And she did answer some questions back then about it, which I was shocked because, they say like, oh, if they're not in the religion, the defection and all this. So I thought it was interesting. But she also, in the interview, talks about the night her mother died when the parents were on their way to a Halloween party and they got into an accident. And I guess she flew there and she was asking her sister, well, what were they? And she said they went as an odd couple. And she's like, what? Alex and Felix? No, apparently as a Ku Klux Klan member, and her mother dressed up as a black lady. And she said this on the Barbara Walters interview, and I was like, oh. So of course, what do I do?
Well, I can remove that.
I copied the link, and I go tweet it at Kirstie Alley and be like, I found this very interesting. I thought I was going to get blocked for sure, because I'm like...
You're starting your own media wars. That's gorgeous. I love it.
Why not? I'm pissing people off left and right. I'm not going to stop now because, we have a story that we're going to cover.
You've been so laid back and demure up until this point.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. I'm such a classy bitch. It might have to be Vera because I don't know what we're going to do. But so my crazy cat lady is now taking care of the other crazy cat lady who actually is like genuinely a crazy cat lady.
So this is the woman on Woodruff, right? I'm on the right street.
I can't confirm or deny that you are correct. But Adult Protective Services has been called numerous times. There's 15 cats in cages.
There's been like ongoing investigation after investigation for the one cat lady. The city of Auburn refers to it as the cat house. It's come up in like city meetings, town meetings.
And the daughter just died. The woman's 90. She was like an Olympian. And she can't take care of these cats. So there's 15 inside. But we're talking there's 30 cages. There's 30 cats around the house.
Oh my God.
She's feeding all the neighbors. So Adult Protective Services will not do anything about it. They will not help the cats. And the cats are fed, and this woman's paying I can't remember what they said, like $150 a week in cat food. And I'm like,
Jesus.
what? So we're going to do a little interview and see if we can get them some help and get somebody over there to remove the cats.
Oh my
Because
God.
I'm like, why not show that the county can't do their fucking job either?
Fed and
Could
clean.
she please be like the Simpsons cat lady? Just like that, and she like gets real lucid and becomes really smart, and then just goes back into cat lady.
You can literally smell the house from a block away.
Oh, that's not good.
I've
not
never
good.
smelled it.
I've smelled it on a hot day.
Well, I don't really. I've walked by it. I used to live up around the corner. I don't know.
You did,
But,
yeah.
I mean,
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. Allegedly. So, I mean, that's crazy to me that you have Adult Protective Services involved and they are not doing anything. And the lady's answer was, I saw the text, I have it, that says, I've called everywhere between here and Rochester and Syracuse, and nobody will take these cats. You have a 90-year-old woman with 15 cats in the cages, and that's the best you can do? It's unacceptable.
Yeah, that is unacceptable. Well, I guess the deal is as long as the cats are well cared for.
And they what I've been told,
as long as they're not dirty, as long as they're not malnourished, that the SPCA can't go in and take them. But if there's any sign of animal abuse, and hoarding itself isn't abuse.
How about cats that never get out of the cage?
Well, that's abuse.
And a 90-year-old woman who doesn't know her own name some days, can't take care of herself, now is responsible for all these cats after her daughter died, and she's losing her caboose, because she's not with it. So,
well, have you heard the medical theory? I don't know if it's actually proven on what causes cat hoarding.
Oh, please tell me it's like a tight vagina
that lives in it lives in cat poop. And
toxoplasmosis, yeah.
It affects human brains. It affects
legit.
And it makes them want to be close to the cats because it only lives in cat poop, or it only breeds in cat poop.
My friend's dog ate a whole lot of cat poop.
I'm not doing it justice. It's not nearly as crackpot as I'm making it sound. But it's a totally. I mean, when you think about it, the microbiology of cat hoarding.
Wow,
that's a whole different podcast.
So there's something in cat shit.
There is a microorganism in cat shit it lives in cat shit, and it's usually eaten by mice or rats, and it makes them come out. They usually hide from their natural predator, but whatever this thing is, it makes them come out to be eaten by the cat so that they can procreate in the cat's digestive tract. I heard it on NPR. I'm not making it up.
No, you are correct. I've heard it too, and it does like weird stuff to the human brain as well. It makes
and it creates this need, this emotional biochemical need to hoard cats.
I might need some wine after that.
Maybe you've got a biochemical need for the wine.
Ice soda.
That's you've stumped him, Vera.
Hard. It's like a brain worm. It gets in there and you think about it, and cat poop and
See, this is why I can't fucking do cats. I just can't do. I'm not changing no litter box, and they fucking shed, and I'm allergic. I'm not having it.
Not doing it, gosh.
One dog
who love cats.
Didn't even make it all the way to the end. She went to go live with good old Richard because she was getting blind, and I'm already overwhelmed with 3 children.
Yeah.
So, Miss Izzy LaRue went to live with Richard, they're each other's speed, and I will never have another animal again, ever.
I want another dog. I do want another dog.
I think about it for 5 minutes. No.
My problem with the dog, though, is that my mornings are so pressured I am not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. I get up with exactly enough time to get in the shower, get
You
my
roll
clothes
and
on,
run.
get to work. And oftentimes when I'm supposed to be to work at 9, I'm rolling in at 9:03. You know, that's who I am.
I hear that.
Yeah, I don't like to be awake.
And that's just that 10 minutes it would take me to feed and walk the dog before I go to work. I would love
That's
to
why you
forever
need one of those,
to work.
those self-feeding things that you can do it. Because have you seen those ones that you can now like? It's like the doorbell
dog
thing where
can
you
go
can
up and
get on
press
your
the
phone and be
damn
like, at the dog feeder. Like they don't care. They
You
don't
gotta poop
care.
and pee before I leave. That's animal cruelty if he doesn't get to poop or pee before I go.
Make your sister take
That
him
is
out.
terrible.
She's going to be in Albany, God willing.
Oh, that's right, girl.
I
I gotta
know.
say, I cannot wait for this election to be over. I'm tired of opening Twitter and every fucking thing, and it's just Trump this, Biden this. I don't care anymore. I just want it over. I'm done.
I care,
Well,
and I care deeply, deeply, deeply.
I'm like, I just, after that last election and waking up in the middle of the night with the TV on and seeing he won and like waking up and being filled with dread and like, what just happened? I'm like, I can't do this again.
I know. Oh, no.
well, yeah, I just watched Chelsea Handler's latest special.
Yeah.
Just
I saw
on
that.
there,
She
and
was on Seth Meyer last night, but I didn't see her special.
She offered to pay 50 cents taxes if he said that he liked Biden, didn't he? Sure,
and
he
he's changed.
said he liked
He's
Biden.
changed his tune, so I think Kirsty might have, not Kirsty, Chelsea might have paid off the ex.
I was like, just pay my electric bill. I'll vote whoever you want me for.
But even her last book, Life Will Be the Death of Me, was all about the Trump election and what that did to her brain and the trauma that it resurfaced. And it's actually a really good book about her dealing with the loss of her brother.
Mm-hmm.
But it all came from that election. So God knows what we're all up for,
At the risk of sounding overly dramatic, I have spent the last 4 years in existential dread. My passport expired and I was supposed to go to Portugal this year. So I sent my passport and my birth certificate in right before COVID hit. And then everything blew up and they ceased issuing passports. And I'm a citizen without a passport, and all proof of citizenship is lost in the pandemic ether. I was terrified. This man is going to deport me to a country I've never been to. It's like, I'm going to get kicked out of the United States. And
could you imagine what that would do for us?
Well.
I know. Could you imagine the ratings? Take one for the team.
Vera.
What?
If you were deported.
If you was again, Steve, you're going to have to sponsor me for citizenship and
Look,
I'm not going to be able to do this.
Hi, it's Vera. I have no idea where the fuck I am.
I can't speak this language. And I've only eaten 5 Mexican dishes in my whole entire life.
Hey, tacos.
Listen, I know you've had your fair chimichangas, okay, but I don't know who you're trying to play.
Yeah, we were talking about that before you came on, but there was no chimichanga last night.
Not last night. Mexican restaurant was not having dine-in service.
Now, when you look at a guy, when you go on a date, do you think about the size of his?
We are takeout.
Do you think? You fuckers.
Yeah, takeout only.
Do you think about the size?
Yes.
Do you think about the size of his package? Does that cross your mind? Do you look at him and say, he's got to be like a 6er, a 9?
I'm not quite that analytical, no.
Oh, that's so weird.
There've been a few guys who've surprised the fuck out of me.
Jeff. Listen, after that, the second guy I dated, I it was like in the dark, doing a little feel, and I was like, that's it. I'm like, I gotta know.
Well, all right. In the world of oversharing, I'm about to.
Yay!
Period. The faint-hearted are not attracted to chubby girls. You know.
Who? Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because like, honey, that's like with a big boy. Where are you going to put that thing?
Yeah. It's just like, you know, that's all small dick energy. Sorry.
Literal small dick energy, you know.
Yeah.
Literal.
Literal.
It's a shame too, because there's some really hot guys that I'm like, oh, God doesn't love you.
You have not touched my Lord.
Like, I don't. How much are you worth? This isn't gonna work out.
Check that. Yeah, check that bank balance first. You could make it work if it needed to, right?
For the right amount of bank balance, yes, I could. I'm gonna cheat on him, but I'll make it work.
Hey, we are in a very progressive age now. You know, you can define your relationship however you want to define your relationship.
I'm gonna go and sleep with whoever I want. You, not so much. But you're gonna buy me nice, pretty things.
It's got to be equal.
So yeah, I'm kicking myself that like I never did that when I was young and skinny and beautiful. I was like,
You were
I know.
I was a good boy.
I was raised in a Catholic church. I was in a Catholic school. I thought that that's what you had to do. You had to be a good girl. And now, in hindsight, I think I missed out on a lot of fun.
I may have dropped a bunch of weight after my separation, and maybe
as you do,
I maybe made up for a little lost time.
Yeah.
Later in life,
that is your adult prerogative, right?
It gets it's my prerogative. It gets old rather quickly.
Yeah. Especially when you're not drinking enough to, you know, block out those bad memories.
It's not fun to like hook up with somebody if you're not like fucking wrecked. And then it's like, I can't do that. I have 3 kids. I got to go home and wake up 2 in the morning. I can't be getting slammed. Well,
you can be, but
yeah.
You know, whatever. It's a very different story after 25. I think that's like.
Yeah, I'll give it to like 30, 32. That's the different story. That's the
30,
so what do you guys think Luke's problem is?
Luke is
doesn't trust himself.
We are not going to malign his character while he's not here. But
yes, I am. It's not a show if I don't make fun of Luke being a power bottom.
We love Luke.
I think Luke radiates the power bottom energy because look at these photos. Look, we have to.
Gee.
If that doesn't scream, I had ketamine for breakfast 2 days ago. And that's it.
I like it in the bum.
Look at it. That's a specimen. He was living his best twink life. That's Rocky. That's Rocky from Rocky Horror.
Yeah, it's the monster.
What about this one? I'm just doing it. He stupidly left all these loaded. So, girl, that's your fault. Look at Robin.
You can see his penis.
Yeah. Well, look.
I think he's got really big testicles. I don't know.
Isn't that the point of Halloween for gay guys and girls? Dress as slutty as possible?
No, I didn't do that either because I hate Halloween.
We'll see, girl.
Halloween. Hey, we gotta bring up some spooky content.
Yeah,
October's almost over.
I've got this ready to go because I did ask everyone a couple of weeks ago to come up with some real life spooky stories.
Get close to the bewitching hour. Jeff's not on the porch anymore.
I know. What happened? Any updates, Jeff?
It's like 40 fucking degrees out there, and there was no way in hell.
It's supposed to snow here tonight.
See, bitch, no. Like, I'm tripping balls because I went from 80 to 40, okay? Now, I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, this is some New York shit. I'm like, Aunt Mel, what's going on? Because if this is going to continue, we're going to go remote learn someplace that's the southest point in America that I can get to that's going to be warm.
You're not there yet.
Hawaii is still an American state, so look, you can remote.
You're not there yet, honey.
Yeah, then maybe they'll kick them out for real. Yeah. Be like,
So
oh.
while we're talking about spooky stuff, our very good friends Anne and Renata are going crazy. Actually, they've been back on morning television here on the same show on Channel 10, which is called the Morning Show. Oh no, not the Morning
It's
Show.
so creative.
I know, but they are tomorrow. They're on Sunrise on the network. So the girls are firing, but they are launching a brand new podcast starting at Halloween called True Hauntings.
Yes.
Girl. So check that out. The first thing they're doing is covering Amityville. So if you are a ghost story fiend and love a bit of spook, Anne and Renata are the ones to go for. If you haven't watched that episode of our show, they
Go
are
find
brilliant.
it. It's there.
It's there.
It's on our YouTube.
Mhm.
You
I
know.
think that one
Along
had like
with my interview of Trinksbury Donahue, a
Yeah,
local ghost hunter in our
exactly.
YouTube.
I was about to go, hey, Vera did her very
Yes.
own interview with a ghost hunter.
that looks
Yeah.
so like kid friendly right there. That graphic.
And Luke is very proud of this one.
It's friendly.
So-
We're not too scared.
Oh my god.
My favorite cartoon, riding a
Vera
broom with my
She lives.
Vera,
She
he
lives.
said that to me, and I'm like, she's gonna kill you, dude. She's gonna
Yeah.
come to Australia and take you out.
Well, nobody can see that I'm like the 5'2" one with all these 6-foot Amazons when it's just my little.
I
And
am
why
not complaining about this picture.
Katrina is the short one. She's like 5'2".
But
makes
look
us
at her there. Katie and Katrina are 6 foot tall, and I'm like 4'2" and round as an egg.
Super skinny. I love my life.
I look like a terrorist in my photo.
Luke is very accurate, I think.
Luke, no, because he's short. I'm taller
Yeah,
than he is.
He's got that
I'm
wisp
like a
going.
foot taller than Katie.
That guy made me skinnier though, so I was happy.
Work. I know, right? I was like, you can stick around. Let's put that on a shirt. Let's, let's do some shit
I
with
don't
that
mind
picture.
being the roundest, but I'm a little taller.
We'll just do objects in this picture may appear larger in real life.
Okay, let me show. No.
Yeah, that's the
There's
message I want.
the 7 nails. Jeff, not Vera.
We're gonna do a little magic Mike tonight.
So, anyway, speaking of scary stuff,
My pony.
this is
Not
going to
quite
be our little,
ghost story.
not quite celebrity ghost stories. Is going to be our little ghost story corner. I
That's
did ask a
right.
couple of weeks ago. So, you guys both grew up in haunted houses?
I did not grow up in a haunted house,
did.
but I lived in a haunted house for several years.
All right. Well, you can go first then.
Speaking of pictures of gays in the 80s, when I got out of college, 2 of my friends and I were sitting in a bar here in town and talking about, oh, we can't stay at our parents' house. This is cramping our style. What are we going to do? And only one of us made a great career choice, and he became a pharmacist. So he bought a house.
Ooh, a
Like a
pharmacist.
lovely house. It was a very mid-century modern house with a terraced backyard and a pool and 3 separate wings. We each had our own wing with our own bathroom. It was it was a gorgeous house, and it was haunted as shit.
I love it. Let me move
Oh
in
my
right
God.
now.
After we'd lived there for a while, we found out that there was a gruesome car crash in the front yard. Right on the curve in the road, and this car full of teenagers was coming from a dance in Ithaca and missed
Oh my God. It's always teenagers going to a dance. Or from a
Right.
dance,
It
right?
sounds like some
and
horror
it happened.
movie.
They hit the tree that was in the front yard, and supposedly body parts were everywhere. It was a horrible car accident.
See, I'm a weirdo. I would have been outside like, oh, look at that arm.
Look at that
They lived
manicure.
long before we lived there, right? And then the family who owned the house right before Jim bought it, their son was in a car crash on the road that runs behind the house.
Oh, that's creepy.
The house had floor to ceiling living wall windows, It was just like 18 feet of window, and you could see that street from the living room. And apparently the whole family was sitting in the living room looking at the street going, oh my God, there's a car crash over on Sand Beach. Oh, look at it. And it turned out it was one of their children was in the car and he passed.
Oh my God.
And from the time we moved in, weird shit happened in this house. There was a full house inspection before Jim closed. And when we moved in the first night that we were there, we kept saying, I smell gas. I smell gas. From a completely good house inspection on the first of the month to the day we moved in on the 15th, 18 holes in the gas line in the basement. The New York State Gas and Electric had to come in and shut the house down until those holes all were repaired.
Maybe
That's
somebody
like
just doesn't like the gays.
Well, no. Apparently,
it's like treehouse horror shit. The house
people didn't like the transom window, the floor to ceiling windows had these transoms on the top for ventilation, and they'd long been painted shut. It was built in the 1950s, and you needed a special stick to get up there and open the windows. And we couldn't get them open. From the day we moved in, we could not get these windows open. We would sit there with the stick and we would pull. And then one night we were all sitting around the dining room, and all of a sudden we heard boom, 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 boom. And the transom windows were flopping up and down. Windows that we could not get open. One night we were sitting in the kitchen. A lot of things happened when we were sitting in the kitchen. Of course, we smoked a lot of pot in the kitchen, but the knobs on the stove, there was a double oven and a countertop stove, and the knobs just started popping off. Boom. Boom.
Nope.
Boom.
That's when a sensible person would have exited the building, right?
No, we stayed.
You're too fucking stoned to move.
Out, and Jim had a deeply held paranoia of coffee makers. He checked the coffee maker every time he left the house to make sure it was unplugged. He checked it. I checked it. John checked it. We went down to the bar. We were hanging out. There was a nice fireman we were talking to, telling us how the number one cause of fires was coffee makers. And Jim's like, I told you. That's why we unplugged the coffee maker. We went home. The coffee maker was plugged in, on, and hot. It was on the verge of exploding. We had shit happen all the time. I know. Christmas Eve. Now, I'm a Christmas freak. I am the original Christmas freak. I had a 15-foot Christmas tree in the living room, and I had a train set that went around it. And Christmas Eve, John and Jim went to their family's house, and I was the only one still in the house. At 2:00 in the morning.
Are you alone in the house, Vera?
I was going, beep, beep, and it's going around and around. And I came to the top of the stairs, and I looked at the tree, and I just said, please, it's Christmas. Couldn't we stop tonight? And it stopped. The train did not go again.
No, ma'am.
Those are the stories I remember after 25 years.
Well, there was a lot of pot smoking, so I'm not surprised you don't remember more.
Let's talk about, is this man still alive and still a pharmacist? How he doing? Does he need a friend?
Yeah, he actually married for money and lives in Boston. He married
my kind of man.
But he's still a pharmacist, and the two of them are well on their way to having millions to leave to no one.
Maybe they need a third with 3 kids.
Maybe they would have passed it down and be generous to some underprivileged Jeffrey.
And I get into a fight with the county, and they were mean, and they like called me a liar, and like I feel like I deserve money.
I was personally attacked.
You were.
So Jeff, tell us about your little growing up ghosty then.
We always had like ghosts and shit in the house. Like nobody would be home. You'd be down in the basement, and you had like the long hallway, and there would be a door to the basement, but there was no doorknob. And the only way that it locked was from upstairs. So you'd be down doing laundry. Or, after I took over the house after my parents left, we would say we were doing laundry, but we might have really been smoking pot out of an apple. I don't know. So you're down there and all of a sudden you hear somebody storming down the hallway and they run right to that basement door. And you're like, somebody's about to fucking lock me down here. And that basement was not cute. So you would run and then you'd walk back kind of the doorway to that hallway and you'd always kind of just see something out of the corner of your eye, like somebody standing there. So it was kind of just weird. It just, you'd always hear somebody walking around the house or cabinet shutting or whatever. So it was just kind of normal though, growing up, and nobody really made a big deal about it or talked about it. It's just the ghost. But I can't say how many times I've had somebody else come hauling ass up those basement stairs because they thought somebody was going to lock the door, and I'm like, bitch, I haven't moved.
Yeah.
Now, when we both worked at Shadell, there was several night staff who swore that was haunted, and I never felt like anything was happening there.
Mm-mm.
Never felt like it was.
Why would a ghost want to haunt that place? The furniture was so shitty.
I figured it was always one of the patients, one of our clients.
It was so uncomfortable when you did third shift and you're trying to sleep and you're on this shitty doctor's office couch. It's not fun. No, we never did that. We never did that.
Never did.
And there definitely wasn't that one manager guy who was stealing all the food from the one house. It didn't happen either. He was hot though, so it was fine. I wasn't gonna tell.
But I think it's stuff like that is always yeah, until you experience it for yourself. Until you've had an experience like that. I remember I moved to Sydney to do a full-time performing arts course many, many moons ago. Our house was old as the hills and it had floorboards all throughout. So I lived with, when we first moved in there, I lived with 3 girls and it was just me. So we were asleep one night and you could hear high heels on the floor. I'm like, one of these hoes has been out doing something. Hi girls, if you're watching. Walking in late at night, and then I got up. 2 of them weren't in the building that night, and the other one went to sleep at 7:30 at night because she had a head injury. So, But one night when I wasn't there, I came home to Newcastle. I know.
What do you mean she had a head injury?
Look, that's a separate story. She might have done a bit of a flip and cracked her head on the ground. We were trying to be dancers back in the day.
Oh.
That's what happens.
I thought perhaps there was some,
I understand. I've fallen off the stage and broke my heels.
Yeah, so one night I was back home in Newcastle and they were in Sydney. It was our house was like the dewdrop in. Everyone just came and slept and, as it is in your 20s.
The dewdrop in.
Yeah, the dewdrop in. You like that?
It was our house on South Street.
Yeah, so
there was always people there.
Yeah, I got home and one of my mates, he's like, "Oh, so I slept in your bed the other night." I'm like, "Oh, great. Do I have to change the sheets?" Because he was a bit of a ladies' man. I'm like, "Do I have to change the sheets?" He goes, "No." But I was in there. He's like, "Is there something up with your house?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "So I was laying there and my back was to the door, which is, hello. You never do that." And he felt someone sit on the bed, lay on the bed, and put an arm over him. And he thought it was just one of the girls because there was a few of the girls there as well. And then he rolled over 5 minutes later and there was no one there.
Mm-mm.
I know, right? I was like, oh, okay.
I had the experience where I felt somebody was sitting on the bed. Somebody had sat on the bed.
But that house had it all. You'd hear conversations, when you're there by yourself. Literally, I was washing the dishes one day, and there was me and one other person. She was out in the backyard, and I could physically see her. And then I just heard this voice in the house say, "I'm coming." I was like, "Okay, I'm going outside now. Bye." Just walk calmly out of the building.
Well, the day that I did the interview with Trink, she pulled out her ovilus or whatever that thing was.
The ovulus, yes.
Yes. And she was explaining what it was for, and she turned it on, and a word just popped up, February. And I said, oh, what's that mean? And she said, well, that could be somebody's birthday. And I'm like, my pop was born in February, and he had died a couple of years ago. And I was like, she's like, yeah, I got chills. Actually, when I did that interview, a couple of weird things happened. What did Brian say?
He loves my shirt, and he has many ghost hunting stories to share. So we might have to,
Wow, share.
Maybe next year we'll have to do like a listener story thing where they send us in a little video. That'd be cool.
But while we were taping that, a black cat that I'd never seen before walked across the yard and just sat at the bottom of the steps and watched us.
Yeah, see, no.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a couple of years ago, probably more than 10 now, we drove from Vegas to California, and because that's what you do. It's like you just decide. And we stopped in a very little town on the outskirts called Needles, California. Anyone been?
Needles.
Because Needles is the town that dreaded sundown, mate. Like we got there as the sun went down and everyone disappeared. I was like, okay, this is cool. So anyway, there were 4 of us on this little car trip. 2 girls, 2 boys. The girls were a couple. Hi guys, if you're watching. we're all just friends. Anyway, so we get into this room and settle in after going to a healthy McDonald's dinner, as you do while you're in the States. And I'm laying there, everyone's asleep.
I had somebody make me go to McDonald's in France. Sorry.
You got to. Out of the corner of my eye, in the bathroom, there I could see this little shadow doing these ones around the corner. And I'm like, you're imagining things. Everyone else was asleep because I snore really badly because of my grossly deviated septum. So anyway, yeah, I made sure I was the last one to sleep all the time, just so my snoring didn't wake everyone up. So I'm like, this is like, I kept seeing it, like, just ignore it, close your eyes, go to sleep. So I closed my eyes, and then I hear this little pitter patter of feet on the carpet, back and forward between, like, in front of the beds. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. And then it came up between the beds and stopped. I'm like,
did you open your eyes?
No, I said, if I have my eyes, I'm going to have a heart attack, shit this bed and die. So, and I had someone in there with me, and I'm like, that's not the way you want to go out. Like, it's not the way you want to go out.
You had a friend in bed with you?
No, he's a platonic friend. Hi, Josh. So I ignored it. Anyway, we all went to sleep. And then during the night, all you could hear in the room above us is someone walking back and forth, like heavy footsteps. And the dragging of furniture on a wooden floor. You know that sound? Yeah. Beautiful sound effects. So anyway, so loud that it woke us all up. Like, everyone woke up. And the minute all of us were awake, stopped.
It stopped.
Stopped completely.
And nobody was up on that floor?
We'll get there. Hold on. We'll get there. Hold on.
Okay.
So everyone started to fall back asleep. And it started again. And this happened till morning, and we all woke up like really, really early because we're all fucking shagged because we couldn't sleep. That. And I told my friends about seeing the shape come around, like peeking around the corner, and one of the girl who was sleeping next to the bathroom just went completely white. I'm like, why? What's wrong? She goes, I thought I was seeing things because I kept seeing it too. So I just closed my eyes and forced myself to go to sleep. So I was like, oh, okay. And we took photos, and there's fucking orbs in all the photos. In this. So we was like, oh, we're gonna go do some ghost hunter shit in this place. Walked upstairs, right? Every other hotel room you could see, like, in the windows. The room directly above us, The windows were blacked out and the number was off the door.
Oh.
So I was like, it's time to go. So we packed our shit and got out of Needles. And yeah,
Jeff's gonna get out of
that was some shit. I was like, yeah, that was the place
I
isn't
did not
open
let the
anymore. So.
sunset on me when I was in Needles. We just kind of drove through.
But yeah. I believe it used to be called the Travelers Inn. It's rebranded, so I don't know what it's called now.
Fuck that. Because I'm sorry, the windows are blacked out and there's no number on the door. They're fucking killing bitches in there. Okay, have you seen Hostel? No.
What? I was more thinking Vacancy. You know.
No.
Or Shannon Doherty's gonna jump out and go scare tactics.
Oh my god! I'd be like, oh, Brenda.
I would have yeah. Like, Shannon, I love you. Heather.
You'd be like, oh.
Angie, I'm sorry, I haven't answered.
Perfect.
I haven't answered Angie. Where is Luke? Luke is having a well-deserved holiday at the moment.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself in Brisbane. Is that how you Aussie say it? Brisbane?
You did it. Yeah, you did it. Congratulations.
At the freaking Warner Brothers theme park, I'm like, this bitch. In a tank top, it's all warm. I'm like, the minute they open flights up into Australia, I'm fucking out of here.
But I love the awkward bend he has in those photos. He's got the full dad photo going on. He's like, yeah, I'm a dad.
He's like trying to have the mom hip, but he doesn't have the musculature to do the mom hip.
I just ooh. I just love the photos of his daughter on the roller coaster where she's like and Luke's doing full dad soccer mom arm trying to hold her into the roller coaster. So
I love the photo of Buffy with the Catwoman behind her, and she's just got a puss on.
She's living her life. She wants to be Catwoman.
Girl, that girl has got more attitude.
He's in for so much trouble, but I think self-created.
Yeah, she's gonna look at him and be like, "Daddy, fuck off."
I know. I don't know why she's British. I love it though.
Right? When she goes, "Oh, 2 daddies."
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I love that little girl.
We were talking. I remember we were talking one night on PS4, and she always gets on and doesn't say anything. So she's like, "Hello," like talked. And then one night she just must have had it with me. She goes, "Hello, Steve." I'm like, "Oh, girl, sorry. Have I upset you?" It's like
you're
cutting into her daddy.
She's great. I think. Yeah. Look, she's up uncensored radio next generation.
Fuck you. She calls me Daddy Jeff.
Daddy Jeff.
Daddy Jeff. Daddy Jeff.
We'll have to definitely when things die down with COVID. I'm sure she'll be back over to
Luke, they were supposed to be here from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
I was going to tag along, whether you knew or not. Luke's like, "You're coming." I'm like, "Okay."
Jeffrey, I think it's our turn to go to Australia.
Oh, I'm so ready, especially because it's summer, winter. So like,
maybe we can alternate and do like
could you imagine?
Uncensored holiday.
The school district would lose their fucking minds if they found out the kids and I were in Australia. We were not learning. Like,
how remote is too remote? We'd have found that limit.
Look, everything is to be considered allegedly until proven otherwise.
Fuck that.
Jeff is not in Australia. Jeff is not in Australia.
No, yeah. Well, you can't get. You can't
get soda. We can take you to Australia with us.
Yeah, like what if Ice Soda decides to launch in Australia? They can have, we'll jump on that train.
We'll be their goodwill ambassador.
Definitely.
So I had to buy pants because we came down here with shorts because we came in summer. And I didn't plan on being here this long. Where, I kind of knew like, oh, well, it's getting colder, so I had bought in the kids' clothes, but I didn't buy anything for myself. So I've sent a few pictures in the war room of me wearing a towel, this massive beach towel. My aunt's like, "You look like Mother Mary." Well, so I ordered some jeans, and I mean, it makes me feel good that they're too big, but right now my pants just fell off and they're on the floor.
Oh,
Wow. You said you want to share something
so
with all our uncensored audience?
obviously that's maybe a cue for us to
go.
No, but like, hey, that's some scary
Well, why
stuff.
do you have to stand up anyway?
Look, Jeff's used to embarrassing videos, right? Like,
Yeah. This is for Luke.
I had to.
I'm so lucky that Titty didn't knock me out, man, when that thing flung back up.
You black eye.
Oh dear.
The thing was just, it had a mind of its own.
Mind of it. Titties
Look,
mind of their
I gotta
own.
go. I gotta pick
As
my
we
pants up.
sign
My
out
ass
to all our
All
friends and family here and in Australia, you guys have a
Happy
great
Halloween, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you on Election Day.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Jesus. Bye.